If you're serious about IIT JEE, then skipping this video is not an option. This chapter can either make or break your rank. If you're still confused with three-dimensional geometry, then here is a video which fixes that. In the next 15 minutes, with 15 questions, we are going to destroy this entire chapter comprehensively, thoroughly, and clearly. You have this opportunity. In this next 15 minutes, with these 15 questions, we'll do a sharp revision, we'll bring conceptual clarity, and with that, you can gain a lot of marks from this particular chapter. So watch it now, or let these marks go to someone else. Let's read the first question. It says that direction ratio of normal to the plane through 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, which makes an angle pi by 4 with this plane x plus y is equal to 3. How do we proceed with this question? The idea is simple, students. First of all, let us write the equation of the plane which passes through 1, 0, 0. I hope you know this equation is going to be a times x minus 1, b times y minus 0, and c times z minus 0 is equal to 0. That will be the equation of the plane we are looking for. But what you also know is that this plane passes through 0, 1, 0. If this plane passes through 0, 1, 0, then 0, 1, 0 will satisfy this equation, through which I'll get a is equal to b. Now, next conclusion, that this plane makes an angle pi by 4 with this other plane x plus y is equal to 3. So if that is so, I hope you know how to find the angle between two planes. So cos theta is given by a times the coefficient of x in that other plane plus b times the coefficient of y in that other plane plus c times the coefficient of z in that other plane, which are 1, 1, 0, and with that divided by square root over a square plus 0 square or c square first of all here in this first equation, and from the second equation it will be under root over 1 square plus 0 square, which will be root 2. And with that we know that cos pi by 4 is 1 by root 2. We can establish a relationship between c and a as well. So I got a relationship between a and b, I got a relationship between a and c, and with that when I figure out the direction ratios of the normal to the plane which are given by this a, b, c, then it will be a is to b is to c, a is a, b is a, and c is root 2a. With that, if I simplify this a, cancel this a from all these three values, then I'll have 1, 1 and root 2. That's your direction ratios of the normal to the plane. Moving ahead with the next question, what does it say? A plane which passes through this point and this line is. So when you see that here, this point 3, 2, 0 satisfies the equation of the line. So if this point lies on the line, then there could be infinite planes which will be passing through this line. But what I clearly see is that in option A, there is only one option which is satisfied by both the options, both the points 3, 2, 0 and 4, 7, 4. So that's the only option we are given, and that's why I'll say option A is the correct option. With the next question, what do we see here? Two lines, x is equal to this and x is equal to this. Of course, we will simplify this. And what are we told? What is the condition if these two lines are perpendicular? I'll say the idea is really simple here, students. First of all, if I rearrange the first line, how do we rearrange the first line? The idea is simple. I'll say x is equal to ay plus b and z is equal to cy plus d. So if I put them equal to lambda, x is equal to lambda, from there I'll find ay plus b also in terms of lambda and z is equals to cy plus d also in terms of lambda, through which I can establish the equation of the straight line. Similarly, I can establish the equation of the second straight line as well. From here, I can see that the first straight line passes through b, 0 and d. Second straight line passes through b dash, 0 and d dash. And the direction ratios of the first line will be a, 1, c, and the direction ratios of the second line will be a dash, 1, c dash. This is what we will get after converting the given equation. Then what do we see? That if these lines are perpendicular, then we know that a1, which is a dash, plus bb1, which is 1, 1, plus cc1, c1, c2, which is cc dash. I hope you understand. a1, a2 plus b1, b2 plus c1, c2 should be 0 if the two lines are perpendicular. By having that condition, I'll establish a relationship, and that will be our correct answer. Moving towards the next question, it says this line and this line are coplanar. If two lines are coplanar, what is the condition for coplanarity? Here, if there are two lines, here x1, y1, z1 lies on the first line, x2, y2, z2 lies on the second line. So the determinant x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. The direction ratios of the first line L1, M1, M1. The direction ratios of the second line L2, M2, N2. This determinant should be 0. What do I say? 2, 1 3, 4 and 4, 5. The difference of this will make the first row. 1, 1 minus k will give you the second row, and k to 1 will give you the third row. With this determinant, when you put it equal to 0, you get a quadratic in k, and when you get a quadratic in k, you solve it and the values of k are found to be 0 and minus 3. That's your answer to the question. Next question, it says the radius of the circle in which the sphere is cut by the plane. So there is a plane which cuts a sphere, and of course when a plane cuts a sphere, a circle gets formed. So we are asked the radius of that circle. How do we solve it? First of all, look at this circle. If I look at the equation of this sphere, here half of this 2, half of this minus 2 and half of this minus 4. If I take negative half of these coefficients, I'll get the coordinates of the center of the sphere. Here we are given the equation of the plane. So from this center of the sphere, if I find out the perpendicular distance of this plane by using the distance formula, I hope you know, here ax1 plus by1 plus cz1 plus d divided by under root over a square plus b square plus c square, the same formula which is studied in 2D. Here I'll be able to find this distance d, the distance, perpendicular distance of this plane from this center of the sphere. Second thing, you need to find the radius of the sphere. Radius of the sphere is OD. So this radius of the sphere is given by h square plus g square plus f square minus c. So here it is given by, I hope you can clearly see, 1 plus 1 plus 4 minus of minus 19, that is plus 19, and inside an under root. That's how you can find the radius of a sphere, which is given by 5. So what we have is, we have this length, we have this length. By using Pythagoras, can I not find this? I hope you know, 5, 4. So the triplet is going to be 3, 4, 5. And of course, the radius of that circle in 2D, which is getting formed with the help of this plane and this sphere's cross section, it will be 3. I hope there is no confusion on that. You can clearly relate it with 2D. The same formula which we studied in 2D are similarly used in 3D as well. Two systems of rectangular axes have the same origin. If a plane cuts at them at a distance of A, B, C and A dash, B dash, C dash, then from origin, then what will be true? I'll say, if the intercepts made by the first plane are A, B, C, then the equation of the plane will be x upon A plus y upon B plus z upon C is equals to 1. Similarly, if the intercepts made by second plane are A dash, B dash, C dash, then this will be the equation of the second plane. We know how can we find the distance of a plane from origin. The idea is simple. 0 into this plus 0 into this plus 0 into 1 by C minus 1 divided by under root over 1 by A square plus 1 by b square plus 1 by c square. That's the distance of this plane from origin. By using the same formula, I can find the distance of the second plane from the origin. But what are we told? That these two planes are equidistant from origin, which means these two distances are equal, which means this value will be equal to this value. When you equate them, you get this relation, which is given in one of the options. Let's look at the next question. It says a line with direction cosines proportional to 2, 1, 2. So there is a line which has direction cosines 2, 1, 2. Meets each of these lines. X is equal to y plus a is equal to z, and x plus a is equals to 2y plus 2 is equals to 2z. These are the two lines. If I rearrange them, what will I get? What are we told? First of all, the coordinates of each of the points of intersection are given by. Okay, let's find the point of intersection. The first line was given like this. If I put it equal to lambda, I'll find a point lying on the first line. Did you get that? The second line is given like this. If I put it equal to a constant mu, I'll get a point lying on the line given by this. Did you get that? Now, the idea is pretty simple. Direction ratios of this point PQ. So there is this point P on the line 1, there is a point Q on the line 2, L2, Q. And if I find the direction ratios of the line PQ, it will be lambda minus this, lambda minus A minus this, and lambda minus this. So these are the direction ratios of PQ. But what are we told? That the direction ratios of this line is 2, 1, 2, because this is what we are given, that this line is passing through P and Q, is clearly having the direction ratios or cosines is 2, 1, 2, which means this upon 2, this upon 1, and this upon 2 will be same. They'll be proportional. With that, when you simplify and calculate that, you get the values of lambda and mu in terms of A. With that, if you write lambda and mu here in case of P and Q, you find the coordinates of P and Q, which are going to be this. And here, what are we asked? We are asked those points of intersection only, which clearly you get by replacing lambda and mu here in place of these values. So these are going to be the points of intersection. Did you get that part? I hope there is no confusion on that. Any confusion, any clarity which you need to bring here? I hope we can move ahead with the next question. What do we see with the next question? Distance between two parallel planes. So this is a plane and this is a plane. What we need to find out is that what is the distance? The error which a lot of students do is that they take second plane as it is, but there you are given 4x plus 2y plus 4z, so there you need to take 2 common because you need to make the coefficient same between both the planes, because then only we'll say we can find the distance between these two parallel planes. So take the difference of the constant terms, which is 5 by 2 and 8, and divide it by under root over squares of sum of this and this coefficients, which is again nothing but your distance formula between two parallel planes. With that, if I move to the next question, what do we see? It says that intersection of these two spheres is the same as the intersection of one of the spheres and one of the planes. Always remember, the way we see family of circles, if I wish to write the equation of a axis or a line which passes through the intersection of two circles, we say S1 minus S2 will give me the equation of that line. Similarly here, these two spheres are given S1 and S2, and if I subtract S2 from S1, I'll get the equation of the plane which passes through the intersection of these two spheres. I hope you got that. And S1 minus S2 will give me the equation of the plane, which is clearly this. I hope you are revising this entire chapter in this quick manner. Now, the shortest distance from this plane to the sphere is given by. So there is a plane and there is a sphere. Conceptually, if you were to realize it, this is the plane and this is the sphere. Now, if I want the shortest distance between the plane and the sphere, this will be that shortest distance. So first of all, from the center of the sphere, I'll find the distance of the plane, and from that I'll subtract the radius of the sphere. So center of the sphere is clearly 2, 1, minus 2, 1 and 3, and here distance, perpendicular distance of this plane is given by, of course, minus 2 into 12 plus 1 into 4 plus 3 into 3 minus 327 whole divided by under root over 12 square plus 4 square plus 3 square, the distance formula, distance of a plane from a point, the same we used to do in 2D, the distance of a line from a point. Now, from this distance, if I were to subtract the radius of the sphere is given by 2 square plus 1 square plus 3 square minus of 115, which is the radius of the sphere. The same formula, g square plus f square minus c, we do in 2D. The same formula we use in 3D for a sphere. With that, when you subtract it, you get 13 is the correct answer, which is the shortest distance of that plane from the sphere. The next question says that what is the angle between this line and this line? A very simple, straightforward question. How do we solve this? Here, if I simplify this particular line, I'll get this line in this format. Here, 3, 2 and minus 6 will be the direction ratios. If I simplify this line by dividing all the sides by 12, I'll get this equation where 2 minus 12 and minus 3 will be the direction ratios. So the cos theta, where theta is the angle between line 1 and line 2, is given by a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 divided by under root over a1 square plus b1 square plus c1 square into under root over a2 square plus b2 square plus c2 square. But in the numerator, when you simplify this, you get cos theta as 0. The moment you see cos theta to be 0, we say the lines are perpendicular. Condition for perpendicularity. Now the next question says that this plane passes through the midpoint of the line joining the center of these spheres. So we are given two spheres. By simplifying, I can get the centers of these two spheres, and if there is a midpoint of these 2 points, which I can find through section formula, which is 1 1 1. But this 1 1 1 passes through the plane. That means the 1 1 1 should satisfy the equation of the plane. When you do that, you get the value of a as minus 2. Moving ahead with the next question, what does it say? It says that this plane cuts this sphere in a circle of radius. Now, how do we solve it? There is a sphere. By again looking at the equation of the sphere, by taking the negative half of the coefficients of x, y, z, I'll take the center, the coordinates of the center of the sphere. From that, if I drop a perpendicular to this plane x plus 2y minus z minus 4 is equals to 0, I'll be able to find this perpendicular distance, which I'm denoting by d. So d can be found by 1 by 2 into 1 plus 0 into 2 plus minus 1 by 2 into minus 1 minus 4 divided by under root over 1 square plus 2 square minus 1 square, that is root 6. That's your d. Now, how do you find the radius? 1 by 2 square plus 0 square plus 1 by 2 square minus 2. So that gives you the radius of the sphere. Radius is given, d is given. So you know capital R, you know d. This is a 90-degree angle. You can find out small r, which is the radius of that circle, which is the cut by this plane from this sphere, the cross section, right? So here, perpendicular square, sorry, hypotenuse square minus base square will give you the perpendicular square, which is r, which is 1. I hope it's simple and easy and doable. Moving towards the next question. A line makes an angle theta with each of the x-axis and z-axis, but it makes beta angle with y-axis. Great. We are given sine square beta is 3 sine square theta, then cos square theta is what we are asked. We know L square plus m square plus n square is 1. So cos square theta plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma, but gamma is theta, so cos square theta is equals to 1. So 2 cos square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square beta, which is sine square beta. But we are given that sine square beta is 3 sine square theta. So I'll replace this 3 sine square theta here. When you rearrange this, you get cos square theta as 3 by 5, and that's your correct answer. Moving towards the next question, what does it say? The image of this point minus 1, 3, 4 in the plane x minus 2y is equal to 0. There is a standard shortcut, there is a standard formula for that. Minus 1 comma 3 comma 4, the plane is x minus 2y is equal to 0. Let's say the image is given by alpha beta gamma. So the formula says alpha minus minus 1 upon 1, beta minus 3 upon minus 2, gamma minus 4 upon 0, because there is no z, so the coefficient of z is 0, should be equal to minus 2 times minus 1 into 1, 3 into minus 2 plus 4 into 0 there, divided by square of 1 plus square of minus 2 plus square of 0, because there is no term in z. And this value should be put equal to these three. By simplifying this, I can get the value of this expression as 14 by 5. So alpha plus 1 should be equal to 14 by 5. There I'll get the value of alpha. Beta minus 3 upon minus 2 will also be equated with 14 by 5. I'll get the value of beta. And this gamma minus 4 upon 0 should also be equated with 14 by 5. Through that, I'll get the value of gamma. So I'll get these coordinates, which is the image of a point with respect to a plane. So I hope a great clarity is brought by this particular 15 by 15 series, and let's meet in the next session.